We finished up, in my mind, what camp always ends with is that mock game or where you go through kind of dress rehearsal of everything, and that was Friday night for us, and we did a mental day Saturday, and kind of let them get Saturday and Sunday to get their legs back under them, hopefully, and try to heal up some of the rooms that are beat up. Headed into game week, and then this morning we kicked off our series on Crossroads and got to talk about eyes on the prize and what that looks like for us as men and as a team, and really what is a prize. And I think that's where you need to start in defining that for us in society today, because we can get kind of confused on that, I think, and it was some good discussion that we had. So everybody seems really excited to be in game week finally. I know I am. I like the older I get, the longer I coach, the more I enjoy the game weeks, and the less I probably enjoy the camp time. But it's part of the journey, and you've got to embrace that. So looking forward to seeing where we are, and I don't think there's any way to judge that. And people ask me everywhere I go, "Are y'all ready? Are you ready?" I say, I have no idea, but we're ready to see if we're ready or not. And you certainly wish it was against an easier test than what we're going to face down in Hattiesburg on Saturday night. I think this is going to be one of the more improved teams in the nation, truthfully. If you look at how they ended the season last year, how well they played defense, how much they accomplished while dealing with quarterback injuries and the things they dealt with there, and then obviously to see the transfers that they've brought in, at least 11 that I've counted, and I believe 9 of them are from the SEC. So that's a scary task to prepare for, because you really don't know exactly where or who is going to be playing, and I just know enough about that staff and know enough about that program. It's a very proud program, one that's had rich history, and Jeff Bowers, one of the legends in the game in my eyes, and what he did there is phenomenal. And then Coach Hall, Will, is he's a friend, but he's also a heck of a ball coach, and he's through and through there. His dad is a dear friend of mine, Bobby, and legend in that state, and one of the most loyal friends I had while at Ole Miss and even after my Ole Miss tenure. So I've got great respect for that family, and I know he's going to do a great job there at Southern Miss. And again, it's just very difficult to prepare for them because of last year. Will had to, find a way to compete without a quarterback due to the injuries, and now he's got a ton of transfers. So we got our hands full. There's no question in my mind. They were still one of the top defenses in the country last year, and Austin Armstrong does a really nice job there. And they've got some great experience returning 7 starters, plus I believe of the 11 transfers I counted, 8 of them are defensive players, mostly up front. So we expect them to be even more improved. So very, very difficult task. Don't know who the quarterback is really either to this point. They've got a solid running back room led by Gore. The wide receivers, Brownlee could play anywhere in the nation. So it's going to be a great challenge, but we're looking forward to kicking it off.
Coach, talk about health. Where's the health of your team right now, a few days later after, I think, the last time we talked about it?
I think we're in a pretty good spot. I mean, I wish it was everyone. I think there's a couple of kids that are doubtful that will be with ankles and hamstrings and things like that, but I don't think it's anything long term. But we won't be at full strength. But I don't know that anybody is after a fall camp. But I think we're going to be close enough that I don't know that it is. I mean, I'd like to have everybody, but I don't know that it would be something that I would say currently is a game changer. Hopefully, we have enough depth. I think just looking at everybody this morning, I believe we're in a pretty good spot.
Specifically, I guess in the running back room, you expect Day Hunter to get maybe more carries than what you would have thought in week one?
Well, I didn't know how many he's going to get. I mean, I want to get him the ball, but I also want to get it to Shadro and TJ and DeMario and CJ and Caleb, and so there's I don't know how many carries each one will get, but Day-Day's healthy, Shadro's healthy, Malik seems to be back good. TJ, I guess, would be the question mark for this week, but we certainly want to get Day-Day the ball.
Are you healthy on the defensive line?
Yeah, think so. Don't know of anybody there that would be out at this point.
Do you feel comfortable starting with a true road test to start the year?
Well, I don't think you're ever what I would call comfortable opening the year, period. And on the road makes it probably a little more uncomfortable, particularly when it's a good team. I mean, I would love to sit here. I'm very honest with our team. I tell them every Monday, whether we're, I think, an underdog or should win it or it's a toss-up game, and this one is at least a toss-up, if not us being the underdog a bit. So, just with the number of SEC transfers they've had and the athletes in that program, so it is uncomfortable, but that's part of the journey, and dealing with that uncomfortable feeling and preparing the right way helps.
Coach, how about going back to your alma mater? When was the last time you were on campus down there?
Ooh, wow. Heck, I can't remember the last time I was on campus. Probably, I guess it was when I was still head coach at Ole Miss and was recruiting in the state. I remember stopping there and visiting with a good friend of mine, Lloyd Lunsford, who runs the Baptist Student Union there on campus, which I was very active in while I was there. That's my last memory of being there. So it's been a while.
Your relationship with Bobby Hall, did that start when you got in the college coaching ranks and was recruiting Mississippi?
Yeah, it started when I was an assistant at Ole Miss, and then coming back as the head coach, and the guys won. I can't tell you how many games in the state of Mississippi, and always had great respect for him. And then we became friends, and he was just always a great encourager to me, supporter, loyal, understood coaching, and so he's been a good friend and raised a good son in Will also.
Are there any emotions returning to your alma mater, Coach?
No, I just want to win. I don't. No, I mean, I've got good friends there. I love my friends there. Obviously, they've got Sam Gregg there, who we're indebted to for the job he did here while he was with us. That makes it even more uncomfortable, knowing he knows so much about us. And, so I've got cousins, friends there. But, man, I'm just I'll enjoy seeing them and all that, but I want to win. So I don't get caught up in the emotions of it being back home, or obviously it's where I met Jill, and so that's special. But she nor I are really I don't know. We're not wired that way where we're going back to where we met, or I don't think she doesn't act that way to me anyway. She just asked me where are we staying, and she was just wanting to tell her family. All of her family will be there, of course, and they live down that way, and mine will be also. So it'll be good to see all the family. But we're going to try to win a football game, and that will consume me a lot more than any feelings that I may or may not have.
Coach, what are you hoping to take away from this test coming up on Saturday night?
Well, a win would be nice, but ultimately, this whole season is going to test us in a lot of ways, and we're going to have a lot of crossroads. That's why our theme is that this year. Our whole series that I'm teaching is on crossroads of life, and this is certainly one that we'll face. It'll be a hostile place and against a very good football team, but we're going to experience that a lot this year, I think. And how we handle the good times and the bad times will start defining us. And this is what you'll want to carry from it. You hope that, number one, we're a very disciplined football team that I think most games are probably a loss more than they're won. And I certainly don't want to be feeling that way after Saturday night. So I would hope that would be the first test that we pass is, we were disciplined enough to where we made somebody beat us.
Coach, when you first got here, this team hadn't had a whole lot of recent success on the road. But over the last 3 years, it seems like that's kind of flipped a little bit. Big win at UAB last year, obviously Tech, Syracuse a couple of years ago. What do you think you've been able to do in your time here to get this team better equipped to play on the road?
It's probably just I think our approach is consistent. There's something special about playing at home. For sure, you got to defend your home. There's also something special about you feeling like it's us against them on the road mentality. And but I think at the end of the day, it's just, man, they don't see a big difference in. We just want to embrace both, and each has a different feel, and each is a little different. And some hotels you stay in are great, some are not so great. I have no idea what this one will be like, and it really doesn't matter. And I think our kids, I preach that to our kids. It doesn't matter. That stuff has nothing to do with the outcome of the game, or we can't control the weather. We can't control the hotels. We can't control how far the flights are or what time the kickoffs are. If it had my preference, we'd kick everything off at 11 o'clock or 12 or whatever. But we don't have control over all that, so don't give it any power. What we do have control over is when they put that ball down, us executing and playing with great purpose and passion. We have control over that.
One of the battles that we talked about a lot during camp was the kicking battle with 4 guys. Did you get any clarity through the mock game Friday of who might have the edge?
Nick's going to get the call first, and he's kicked very well. He kicked really good in the mock game. It's not that Braden hadn't. Braden is dealing with an injury and just can't seem to quite get totally well, and so we want him to take the time to get totally well. So we're going to go with Nick on the field goals and extra points to start with.
And Stricker will be on kick.
Stricker will be kicking off. Mm-hmm. Aiden and Max, depending on what kind of punt we're going to use.
What about your return game? You feel pretty confident?
I
with
do.
the kick and punt return?
Yeah, I like Demario and Shadro a lot. I think both those guys are weapons for us in the returning game. And expect to see them get most of those opportunities.
Coach, I think I saw that Hayes Maples, one of their talented linebackers, was hurt. I don't know if he's going to play this week or not. What you've seen of them on tape, I mean.
Well, he's a heck of a player. I also hear that I got a list of all these transfers somewhere, but I hear that the Gill kid from Ole Miss has really impressed them at linebacker. So I would assume if Maples can't go, that might be the replacement. I'm not sure if he can go or not. It's hard for me to keep up with all of that, what's real, what's not. But I hate it for the young man if that's the case.
It's not surprising to you that Southern Miss would be able to get Mississippi State, Ole Miss transfers?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, that place, I think it's tradition, it's location. The Mississippi kid is a different kid. Their home is something to them, and very few of them get too far away from home. It's been my experience in the years of recruiting. They might venture out into neighboring states, but they certainly don't go far. And if they do, and they make a move, it's typically back home. And so it doesn't shock me with Will's ties to that state that he picked up quite a few from Ole Miss, Memphis, Mississippi State, Arkansas seems to be where all of them came from.